She loves me again. Love me one more time. Whoa! That thing's huge! Goodness! Yeah. Look at this thing! Do you see it? Huge! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Elise! These cries of yours come my happiness to the quick. How can you possibly be sad when you just agreed to marry me? Elise.
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
Oh, I don't know, Val! My insane mother, for starters. General disapproval from my extended family and society at large. Things like that. Maybe I love you more than I should.
What?
Maybe I'm afraid you'll have a sudden change of heart.
That's impossible.
Men too often abuse the first tender offering of a young girl's heart. It's a specialty of your sex, Val!
Hey, don't judge me by what other men do. Accuse me of anything else, Elise. But as for loving you, nothing will ever change how I feel. My love for you will last as long as I live.
Easy enough to say now. But in the end, men's actions speak louder than their words.
Then examine mine to see whether or not they merit your suspicions. Don't judge me on fear and feminine hearsay. Grant me the time to convince you every day, in every way, of my honesty and sincerity.
I take it all back now! Your heart is incapable of deception, and your love is true, and you will always be faithful to me. And I will stifle all doubts and fears. It's just, well...
It's just, well, what?
I wish the rest of the world could see you through my eyes. You almost lost your life-saving mind.
Rescuing you from those waves was only the beginning, my beautiful, enchanting mermaid.
Oh, mermaids know how to swim, pal. And now you've abandoned your family and country and hired yourself out as a servant in my mother's home.
So I can always be near you. I know!
It's been more than enough to win me over, but maybe not enough to justify our match in the eyes of society. I mean, you have to admit the situation is unusual.
No more unusual, I should think, than the way your mother has raised you. Forgive me for saying so, Elise, but I'd like to have her locked up for the way she treats you. It only makes the search for my own parents all the more crucial. I know they'll cherish you just as much as I do. Which is why I decided that if they don't turn up soon, I'm going to go out and hunt them down myself.
Do not leave me, Val, not even for a second! And try and stay in the mother's good graces.
That's no problem. Come on, Elise. People love when you dress up in their opinions and flatter their faults and applaud every last little thing that they do. The greater the man, the greater the dupe. And your mother is a colossus.
And you wonder why I question your sincerity with me.
Elise, fault not the flatterer, but the man who craves flattery.
Well, I think you should try a little harder to win my brother over.
Elise, I can't work both at the same time. I'm just a man. Especially your mother and brother. I leave it to you to get Clarence on our side. Look, here he comes now. If you think he's ready, plug his strings.
I don't think I have the nerve. Bill! I'm so glad you're home, Elise. I've been dying to talk to you. What's the matter, Clarence?
A thousand things contained in 3 little words. I'm in love.
You're in love?
Yes. I'm in love. But before I go any further, let me acknowledge that I'm on Mother's dependent. I have to submit to her will. The my beloved and I cannot surrender our expectations without the consent of those who brought us to the light of day Since the heavens have made them the gatekeepers of our personal attachments, and we are but slaves to their authority. And since they themselves have never experienced passion in its delicious torments, they are in a better position to sit in judgment on ours and issue edicts to extinguish our flames. We blind, rash, impetuous youth know better, but we don't. I say all this to spare you the trouble of boxing my ears with it, because I swear to you, our love will not stand unless it's such slop.
Okay. So are you and your beloved engaged?
We're going to be, and there's no use you're trying to dissuade me from it.
Clarence, I'm your sister. Can I be such a stranger to you?
Well, no. But my torment means nothing to you because you're not in love.
I wish.
What?
Blind, rash, impetuous, on fire.
Elise! You're so alive!
No. You go first and tell me all about her.
She's nature never made a more adorable creature. The first time I saw her, Elise, she was so beautiful it hurt. Her name is Marianne, and she lives in a looking for us in Fairbairn.
Clarence, that is not nice.
You know what I mean. But Marianne attends to her every need with complete and utter devotion. Just watching her feed that old lady is a miracle of sympathy. Oh, she's so good and honest and sweet and tender. I'll get worked up. Oh, if you could only just see her, Elise.
Oh, well, I see her. Here, just a picture. All I need to know is that you love her.
I found out from her neighbor that they have only just enough to live on day to day. They're far too proud to refer to their hardship. I sit and think how wonderful it would be to be able to raise her fortunes even a little bit, to give her and her mother even the simplest things to alleviate their suffering. And then I think about how utterly despicable it is that mother's greed keeps me from being able to prove to Marianne how much I love her.
I'm sorry, Clarence.
Is there anything crueler than the poverty subjected us to? The years and years of making us do without everything? What's the point of having money if you don't ever spend it? Oh, and the wages isn't going to die anytime soon, so we'll be too old to enjoy it when she finally catches in. I'm in debt to every tailor in town, and you, having to script and save and have with dressmaker just to keep anything halfway decent on your back.
And she's only getting worse. Every day she gives us a new reason to miss father.
So I need your help.
What do you want me to do?
Test mother's reaction to the idea of my getting married. If she's opposed to it, then Marianne and I will just have to leave our secret fortunes elsewhere. I'll just have to borrow some more money to do it. And sister, if it turns out the mother is against your romantic plans too, then I think we should both leave and liberate ourselves from our unbearable tyranny and avarice. There she is. Oh, look at she just screamed herself into a stroke!
Clarence.
Let's finish this somewhere else.
Black-hearted pack rats, vultures, leech!
How dare you mumble in my presence? Get out of here before I knock the stuffings out of you.
Why are you throwing me out? What did I do to you?
Enough to land your nose in the gutter.
My master, your son, told me to wait for him here.
I won't have you in my house, planted in the hallway like an umbrella stand. Your felon's eyes tracking my every move, devouring all I own and rummaging through every drawer and cupboard for something to steal.
That's what I still care. I don't know why you bother guarding my day.
I'll guard as I see fit, jackass. There are spies everywhere, keeping watch over everything. What if he's found out about my money? You look to me like the kind of guy who would spread it around I had money hidden in my house.
You have money here in your house.
Who told you that? I was just wondering whether out of sheer spite you might not start a rumor that I did.
Still you don't. I don't care.
A philosopher, eh? Using the old brain, eh? How about I knock your head so hard your philosophy squirts out of your ears? Now get going.
Going.
Wait! What's that you're carrying? It's mine! Give it back!
I'm not carrying anything.
Show me your hands!
They're empty.
Show me the other ones!
What do you mean the other ones?
You heard me.
Here's AR.
What's in there?
Search me.
Wise guy, eh? I will search you. Oh, these are the potential receivers of stolen merchandise. I'd like to see the designer of this so-called fashion paying for it.
It'd be a pleasure to steal from Miss Cloud.
What was that?
Or was what?
I heard the word steal.
A plague on all tightwads and misers.
No mumbling. What did you say?
I said, a plague on all tightwads and misers.
Just who are you talking about?
Tightwads and misers.
Just who are these tightwads and misers?
Skinflints and penny pinkers. Why are you getting all worked up?
I'll get worked up if I feel like it. It's good for the blood. Hold still.
Don't get your skin in a flint. I wasn't talking to you.
If you weren't talking to me, who were you talking to?
I was talking to my hat.
Really? Okay. Well, then I was talking to your basket.
Hey, a man's entitled to his opinions.
Not to insolence and slander. So you better shut your
I
hole.
named no names.
Or I'll sew your lips together.
If the shoe fits. Here's one last pocket. Want to see what's in it?
Yeah, show me.
Sure.
Your mother was a whore! You're a lying, thieving cur I'd be happy to see swing from a noose someday! Dismissed! I'll bet you think it's easy to live with a lot of money on the premises. Think again. The problem with a house is it has too many openings. Windows, doors, chimneys, gutters, pipes, sewers, toilets, drains, wells, all manner of holes. Things leak out. Same thing with people. Too many holes, too many leaks, too much leakage. I don't trust houses, and I don't trust people. There's that expression the British use, safe as houses. Well, maybe that nation of tea-swilling ponces feels safe, but I don't. Safe? Ha! And then there's my safe. It only has one hole, but I don't trust it. Safe's another word for thief bait. Her latch aching to be lifted. Scrape my rust off, mommy. Work my hinges, mistress. I want your grubby, nasty, itchy, lawless fingers to make me squeal. Her keyhole, wiggling and winking like the backside of a milkmaid. Tamper with me. Give me your key. Force me open. Take me, rob me, swallow me whole. No, I don't trust a safe. Then again, I'm not too sure burying 10,000 pounds in gold in the garden yesterday was such a great idea. Nobody saw me, I think. Dogs have great senses of smell, don't they? I suppose I could have the dogs killed. They eat too much anyway. Hold on now, please! Who's there? Hey! How long have you two been standing there? We only just got here. Haven't I told you two to walk louder? You were listening, weren't you?
Listening to what?
To me, blockhead!
Listening to you what?
To what I just said!
No, I wasn't.
Then you were!
Nuh-uh.
So you have the nerve to stand there and tell me you didn't hear me saying how hard it is to keep 10,000 pounds in gold around the house?
No, we were hesitating by the door because we know better than to interrupt you.
Well, then I'm happy to talk about it now. So that you don't get it into your stupid heads that I was saying I was the one with 10,000 pounds.
We also know better than to meddle in your business.
Would to God that I had 10,000 pounds.
Oh, Mother.
That would be a wonderful stroke of fortune.
Mother,
I could certainly use them.
I think it's time.
I'd sleep better.
Can I just say?
And I'd never have to complain again that times are tough.
Mother, you have no reason to complain now. The whole world knows you're loaded.
What? Who? Loaded? Liars, slanderers, rumor mongers, tale spreaders!
Calm down, Mother.
not see fit to cut out all their tongues, and yours too.
Ours?
No, his. To have my issue join the league of my enemies.
Acknowledging that you have money makes us your enemies?
Yes, because somebody is going to break in here someday and slit my throat because your tittle-tattle and your outrageous expenditures give off the false impression that I'm made of money.
What outrageous expenditures?
Oh, Elise knows what I'm talking about, don't you, girl? Is there anything more scandalous, I ask you, than that outfit you parade around in, decked out head to foot in all your beads and buckles and bows? You look like a notions counter.
Well, if it were up to you, I'd be wearing fig leaves and burlap.
You are the worst excesses of the aristocracy, son. And since I didn't happen to pay for all your fancy flim-flammeries, I figure you must have stolen my money to buy them.
If I could, I would. Believe me. But I can't. Tell me how to steal from you.
Trying to trick me, huh? It won't work. But seriously, son, why buy a wig when your own hair comes free?
It is the truth that I gamble, Mother. And because I'm good at it, I managed to put what I win on my back in an attempt to appear decent to society.
And I repeat, son, hair is free. Better you invest your winnings in something stable. The 20 pounds you spend on ribbons and powder and rip-rack, put in at 5% will net you a lot more.
Yeah, you're right, Mother.
You wear me out with your idiotic behavior. Can we talk about something else now? Look at them, making signs. They want to steal my purse. Hey! What's going on? What's with the hand signals?
We both have something to say to you, Mother, and we're trying to decide who goes first.
I have something I'd like to say to you both as well.
We'd like to talk to you about marriage.
Funny. That's what I wanted to talk about.
No! You can't talk about marriage! I don't know anything about what you have to say about marriage! Giving your idea of marriage to scare us both to death. That is exactly how I feel, and I
Shut up, Elise, or I'll lock you in the cellar. Neither one of you will have any cause for complaint. Now tell me, have you ever heard of a girl in the neighborhood by the name of Mary Ann?
Yes! Oh,
Elise?
I've heard tell of her.
Well, my boy, what do you think of her?
she's a charming and accomplished young woman.
Her appearance?
Honest and attractive.
Her manners?
Admirable.
Would you say she's the kind of girl who deserves to be thought well of?
Yes, Mother.
That she'd run a smooth household?
I guess so.
And she'd make a desirable match?
Highly desirable.
And that her partner would be satisfied in every way?
Oh my God, yes!
There's just one little hitch. She hasn't much in the way of material assets.
Mother, when it comes to marrying a beautiful, adorable, decent girl, money should never stand in the way of happiness.
Ugh! Who raised this guy? Then again, she's sweet, pliant, innocent, grateful. Well, my boy, I'm glad we're of the same mind for once because I have decided to marry her.
What? What? What did you say?
What did I say?
You decided, you said.
To marry Mary Ann.
You?
Me.
You?
Me.
You?
Me. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go find an axe!
Find an axe?
I'm gonna go lie down. I'm feeling fingers.
Well, it's no wonder. All that perfume has addled your brain. You've got no more vigor than a chicken. Ah! What's wrong with you?
You and Mary Ann?
You heard me?
Not really.
What's so funny?
You. And Marianne.
Me and Mary Ann.
Oh, but you're so...
And what about Clarence?
Oh, what about him? I've picked him out a nice widow. And as for you,
Me?
you,
Me?
shut up. I'm marrying you to Senator Elmo.
Senator Elmo? Oh my God, Mother, he sounds ancient.
He's mature, prudent, wise. 50. 50-ish.
How much is he worth, Mother?
At least! Buckets! Pots! Bushels!
I don't wish to be married, Mother, if you please.
But I, my little honeybee, want you to get married, if you please.
Forgive me, Mother.
Forgive me, darling.
I shall always respect a Senator Elmo, but with your permission, I shall never marry him.
And I shall always respect you, but with your permission, you're getting hitched tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight.
This cannot be, Mother.
That will be, daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I tell you.
Yes, I tell you.
I won't be forced into this.
With a gag and chains, if necessary.
I will kill myself rather than marry some rich old coot.
Rich
So you can get this insane whim right out of your head, Mother.
insane whim. May God cut out your tongue, too.
I am not going to marry Senator Elmo.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, he sounds just like you.
What impudence! Has a daughter ever spoken to a mother in such a fashion?
Has a mother ever sent a daughter to hell for money's sake? It happens all the time.
This is an excellent match. The whole world would approve of my choice.
Yeah, okay, but no sane girl would ever consent to it.
Here's Val. Let's say we let him be the judge.
Fine.
And you'll accept his verdict?
I will defer to his judgment.
Yes, it's a deal. Val, my daughter and I have decided to have you settle a dispute between us.
Ma'am, I side with you.
Val!
Do you know what we're arguing about?
I don't have to know, ma'am. You're always in the right.
Well,
It's impossible for you to be wrong, ma'am.
here you go then. I want to marry Elise tonight to a man of means and wisdom, but the little slut says right to my face that she'd rather kill herself than go through with it. What do you say to that?
What do I say?
What do you say?
Ridiculous.
I don't speak Portuguese.
Right. Well, what I was trying to say at base is that I agree with you and that your talent of being correct is immense and unqualified. And yet neither is Elise completely in the wrong, so
What are you talking about? Senator Elmo is an excellent match. He's high-born, mild-mannered, well-placed, like-minded, and there are no children from his first marriage. Where is Elise going to do better?
well, if I may speak for her,
Okay.
she would be sure to tell you that such a weighty decision ought not to be made in haste and that a series of transactions should be allowed in order to ensure that her sympathies lean toward the merger.
No, I'm afraid I have to strike while the iron is hot. He's agreed to take her without a dowry.
Without a dowry, did you say?
Can you believe it?
I'm speechless.
Think of the savings.
That is a bargain.
Val.
And yet, as your daughter might point out to you, the business of marriage weighs much more heavily upon her. I mean, a lifetime of happiness or unhappiness depends on it. Are you really ready to trade her away for less than fair market value?
Without a dowry.
An extraordinary mitigating circumstance. Yes, indeed. There are those who say that a daughter's natural inclination or antipathy is not to be underestimated, especially in such a case of age difference. May-December alliances are often subject to unhappy accidents.
Without a dowry.
There is a lovely ring to that. I agree. And yet I've heard tell that there are mothers who prefer to place the happiness of their daughters ahead of their investments. Mothers who would never think of sacrificing their tender charges for financial gain, seeking rather and above all else to arrange marriages in which a sweet, enduring conformity of hearts, minds, and souls prevails and triumphs.
Without a dowry.
Without a dowry. It's irresistible.
Is that a dog? Barking or sniffing in the garden? Oh, God. Don't move. I'll be right back.
Irresistible! A lovely ring! Yeah, you're a help, Val. I thought you loved her.
I do love you more than anything.
Then why are you taking her side?
Because locking horns with her won't do us any good. You have to trick the ox. When her head is in the yoke, or the ring is in her nose, you can lead her wherever you like. Be patient, Elise. If you appear to consent to her wishes, it'll all work out in the end.
Yeah, well, you can be patient because you're not the one being sold at auction.
We'll just have to find a way to call it off.
By tonight?
Get sick or something. Fall deathly ill.
With what? She'll call the doctors. But she's way too cheap for that.
What do you think, dowry? What a skunk.
What are we gonna do, Val? This is my life.
Don't worry. If all else fails, we can run away too.
Never be too careful.
A daughter should always obey her mother. She shouldn't care what her husband looks like or how old he is. And if the dowry is waived, she should be eternally grateful for whatever she gets.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Forgive me for using such a tone with her, ma'am. It's just, you're so right. Elise doesn't know how lucky she is.
Oh, I guess I spoiled her.
I think we should continue our catechism elsewhere and not disturb your mother.
Ah, don't bother. I have some errands to run in town. It won't be long.
Money is the thing, Elise.
It's the only thing.
And you should kiss the ground your mother walks on for finding you a wealthy husband, and for him to take you without a dowry.
Without a dowry.
Is a miracle of providence that supersedes birth, honor, wisdom, integrity.
Spoken like an oracle. Happy the man blessed with such a servant. Where did you run up to, coward? What did you to do?
Let's put it this way, sir. You were late and I had a choice. I could wait outside, or I could stay put and get my head bashed in.
My mother, the human scourge. And now, just when things are gonna get any worse, I found out she's my reprimand hand to Marianne.
Ew, your mother's in love.
I almost faked it when she told me.
Excuse me, but does a woman like that still have it in her?
I feel like I paid for all my sins out once.
Did you tell her about your feelings for Marianne?
Are you stupid? No! If I keep it a secret from her, it might give me some more time to figure out ways to put a stop to her marriage. The thought of her with Marianne?
Don't think about it.
So, are there any takers?
Moneylenders are a sticky breed, I'll tell you that much. You pass it in their hands, you won't know what you're wiping off later.
So I'm sunk.
I didn't say that. Madam Jeanette, that high-class go-between you found is raring to take your case. Your fine physique and dainty features, she said, is completely won you over.
But are they worth 15,000 pounds?
They are on several other conditions.
So Madam Jeanette spoke to the man with the money.
High finance is more complicated than that. Evidently, the guy has more secrets to keep than you. His name is to never be mentioned. You two are to meet on a neutral space hired for the occasion. You'll tell him what you need and who your people are. I figured the mere mention of your mother's name would put you in the clear. But before that can happen, you must agree to these terms he has dictated to Madam Jeanette. Provided that the lender has examined all the guarantees and that the borrower has attained his majority and is from a family whose finances are ample, secure, and free from encumbrance, an exact inventory shall be drawn up before a notary of unimpeachable integrity chosen by the lender.
I am okay with that.
The lender, so that his conscience may remain unsullied, will lend his funds at no more than 5.5%.
5.5%? That's more than I'm almost relieved.
However, since the aforesaid lender does not have the sum upon his person, and that to oblige the aforesaid borrower, he is himself obliged to borrow from another lender at 20%. The aforesaid borrower shall be obliged to pay this additional interest that is only to oblige you that the aforesaid borrower has undertaken this loan.
25%?
And
That's barbaric. Aren't there laws against this? Oh, God, there's...
final condition of the 15,000 pounds requested, the lender can remand $13,000 in cash The bar is to accept the balance in furniture, clothing, and occasional items set down for a whiff, which the lender has priced at a fair market value.
What the devil is that supposed to mean?
Don't rush me. Item. A baby's bed with elegant cover layout Hungarian lace, brocaded over olive satin with 6 matching chairs, and excellent condition. Covered in red and blue silk.
Come on, for God's sake, I am not leaving house.
A set of romantic tapestries depicting the rustic adventures of Macy's and Gulfboat.
Who the hell are Macy and Gumball?
3 baskets with mother of pearl inlays, 1 brick of yeast,
That's disgusting.
1 Venetian loop, give or take a string set of mumblety pegs, a coney catchboard, sausage slip.
What?
Sausage slip. Oh, a game invented by the Greeks for when there's nothing better to do. Oh my God, a 5-foot crocodile skin set with hay in the chocolate room, acted to hang from any ceiling.
No.
No?
No.
You're boring. The above items valued at 4,500 pounds have been marked down to 3,000 at the generous discretion of the lender.
Generous discretion? Generous discretion? I'll still hang him. Baby's bed, mumbly pegs, a brick of yeast. I won't get 200 for this junk, but man's got a knife to my throat.
This is what comes to borrowing money from strangers.
No. This is what happens for having a stingy bitch for a mother. It's her fault I'm in this mess to begin with. Is it any wonder sons wish their mother's dead? How about she just died already?
Greed keeps her alive. Without her money, she'd just wither away.
Robbing her pushed her in the grave.
Criminal, but in a way, fair, meritorious.
Praiseworthy even.
No, will not kill your mother!
This is highway robbery.
Right this way, Madame Jeanette. Ma'am, the man is in desperate straits. Word here. And I feel certain that I'll submit to all of your commands. I mean, conditions.
Is there anything I have to worry about, Madame Jeanette? You know his name, his people, his means.
No, of course not. But his eyes are heavenly hazel, and he parts his wig to the left. It was only by chance that we were brought together, but when you meet him face to face, doubtless to say, he'll satisfy your every fantasy. That is to say, curiosity. I can tell you that the family is wealthy. The father is deceased, and if necessary, the father will be dead. The mother will be dead within the year.
Well, it's only decent of us, Madame Jeanette, to lend a helping hand to orphans, widows.
The robust, afflicted.
What's that? Madame Jeanette talking to your mother.
You tried to double cross me?
You are in a hurry.
What is she doing here?
What are you doing here?
Who told you that this was the meeting place?
Stop mumbling!
It was not I, man, who revealed your name and location to these men. But I see no harm done, really. We all know how to be discreet.
What?
This is the young man who wants to borrow 15,000 pounds.
You?
Shut up!
I might have known! Only a fool like you would borrow on such terrible terms! And I might have known only a woman like you would dream of enriching herself so despicably!
Friends, my lips are sealed. That's lovely, Best.
Get out! May the heavens part and rain ruin upon your head! May hell open up and swallow you whole! Is there no end to your fiscal debaucheries? Is your whole life to be spent disgracefully squandering the fortune your parents scraped and saved and sweated for? Doesn't it make you blush to degrade your position in society with the kind of deals you make? To sacrifice your honor and reputation to an insatiable lust for gold? To outdo the wiliest schemes ever perpetrated in the name of money? A brick of yeast. Shame on you, mother. Out of my sight, you criminal! Out of my sight! Who is the bigger criminal? One who borrows money that he needs or one who cheats for it and doesn't need it? You can rot in a debtor's prison for all I care, son! This is a sign from above that I need to keep a closer watch over him.
It's time to go visit my money. She gets lonely.
You know, I haven't seen anything on the list around here before. There's got to be a junk shop around here somewhere.
It's you, Fletcher. Always a pleasure.
I say the same, Francine. What brings you here?
Just using my talents. A little of this, a little of that. Life of service, if you know what I'm saying. And I think you do.
Good luck with that. There isn't a service on earth that can open Mother Harpy's fist. The word give makes her stutter. She's got no problem saying, give me this, give me that. But, give. Torture.
Fletcher, there isn't a woman on earth I can't milk, bilk, or swindle.
How about the fuse of a dead man's eyes?
That's me. You know, all the sensitive spots.
She's all yours then. I'm getting out of here.
Everything just as I left it. What is it, Francine?
My, how spruce you look. Your face is a picture of health.
It is?
Well, I've never seen you looking so hale and hearty. You're positively sturdy. Hold me back.
How do I usually look?
I think I'm in the springtime. I've seen 25-year-olds look older than you.
Yet, all told, Francine, I'm 60 if I'm a day.
What does that prove? 60 is 3 times 20. You are only just entering your prime. You'll live to bury your children and your grandchildren.
That's good news. So, how's our little venture going?
Need you ask? It's not my nature to start things I can't finish. Marriages are my specialty. There's no couple on earth I can't couple to their satisfaction. Why, if I put my mind to it, I'd marry the Pope to Muhammad. Next to that, our project is a bagatelle. I've told Mother how the sight of Marianne sitting in her window has kindled a big something in her.
How did she receive my proposal?
Tears of joy, Cougar, tears of joy. And when I told Mother that you wanted Marianne to sign her contract at the same time Elise signs hers, she was so relieved. Confined to her bed as she is, she was hoping there'd be a proper chaperone on the premises.
Well, if I'm
Giving?
throwing a dinner for Senator Elmo, why
Give to?
Exactly. I'm not made of money.
Now, Marianne thought she might want to meet up with Elise and go to the fair after lunch, and then meet up for dinner.
I suppose I could lend them my carriage, just this once.
A doting mother and a tender fiancé.
So, have you told the mother that she has to sweeten the pot, help out with the finances, blade if she has to? Because no sane person would ever marry a girl without a dowry.
Need you insult me 10 times over? This girl brings with her 12,000 pounds a year.
12,000 pounds.
A year. How do you figure? Well, first of all, she's been raised and nourished economically. She eats bread, cheese, eggs, milk, and that's it. No need for you to ever set a fancy table for her, no haunches of veal, no cakes, no barley sugar, or pineapples, or other dainties that women swoon over. Don't be surprised if that comes out to 3,000 a year at least. As for her appearance, she prefers simple elegance to strumpet makeup and trumpery. She comes with her own hair, and unlike all the other slaves of fashion, she has no need for pretty jewelry or decent furniture. I calculate the savings there at another 4,000 a year. Lastly, she has a perfect horror of gambling. And let me tell you something, that is rare in this town. I know a woman who just last year lost 20,000 pounds on cards alone. So let's figure on a quarter of that. That's 5 for gambling, 4 for clothes and jewels, and 3 for food, and that comes out to 12,000 pounds a year.
Very creative, Francine.
I do what I can, ma'am.
But that's not a real figure.
I beg your pardon. You bring with you to a marriage a taste for moderation, a love of simple dress, and a bottomless disgust for gambling. Aren't those things real?
If you think I'll accept a dowry made from what my wife won't cost me, you don't know who you're dealing with. I want income, Francine. Revenue. Tangible, fungible receivables.
All in good time. I've been guaranteed they have a fortune abroad, and someday it'll be yours to play with.
I won't hold my breath. Ugh. Anyway, Francine, something else is bothering me. The girl is young, and young people, ordinarily, seek the company of their peers and fall in love with them. I'm afraid that a woman of my years won't be to her taste, and that might cause certain uncomfortable or irregular household situations.
Where has my head gone to? I've been meaning to tell you, Marianne has an aversion to young cocks.
She does?
Give me an old buzzard, she says. Oh, how I wish you could have heard it yourself on the subject. The sight of a young prospect almost makes me ill, she says. Nothing delights her more than to look at a distinguished older woman stooped and stammering. The older they are, the more they bewitch her. I must warn you, Harpy, not to misrepresent your age. She wants at least a sexagenarian.
A second of what?
60 plus, honey. Just last she broke off an engagement and she learned her fiancé was only 56. When he didn't put on glasses to sign the marriage contract, the jig was up. Nose isn't made for glasses, she says.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Wait, there's more. I really shouldn't tell you this, but in her private chamber, she has a collection of etchings. Adonis, Paris, Apollo, hot stuff, right? Wrong. Portraits of Saturn, good King Priam, old Nestor with a cane.
Well, what do you know? The girl is an absolute marvel. We think alike.
Pretentious, snot-nosed rascals, all of them. Running around with all that musk. Who needs them?
I don't know, but certain people fall hard for them.
You'd have to be insane to find the younger generation attractive. They're animals.
You don't have to tell me with their high, breathy voices,
Soft skin,
blonde wigs,
straight backs,
wispy hair,
slim hips,
limp wrists.
firm grips.
Ridiculous.
Preposterous when compared to a senior citizen like you.
So, you find me appealing?
Don't make me blush, man. Give us a twirl, please.
Oh.
Just as I suspected, the back is as good as the front. Now, let me see you walk. Limber, graceful, chiseled, flawless.
Stop, Francine. I have some flaws. They're just not very big.
For instance,
For instance, my fluxions take hold of me from time to time.
don't worry. Your fluxions become you. A cough sounds good in a woman.
So, do you know whether Marianne has caught a glimpse of me yet? Maybe while I was passing by her window?
Not yet. But I have given her a full report of your marital advantages.
You've done well, Francine, and for that I am extremely grateful.
It is all in a day's work. Now, Mary, I have a little favor to ask you. I'm involved in a lawsuit, and I'm on the verge of losing it for lack of a true fortress in the land. I can easily reap the rewards of this lawsuit if you just show me even the smallest kindness. Oh, the look on that girl's face when she catches sight of you will be priceless. That old-fashioned garb of yours will make her gasp with pleasure, and the way you lace your dress will reduce her to tears.
That's so it doesn't fall down.
Truthfully, ma'am, this lawsuit is a terrible nuisance. Any support you could give to battle this injustice would be much appreciated. The most becoming blush would startle her cheeks whenever I brought up the subject of you. My endless recitation of your qualities would invoke an impatience in her to be married that in any other woman would seem downright unladylike.
Oh, you have worked very hard on my behalf, Francine, and I am more obliged to you than I can possibly say.
Indeed, so how about that little something to help me get back on my feet? I'd be forever grateful, Cougar.
Good day. I have a stack of invoices to post.
I assure you that my need is urgent.
I'll make sure the carriage is ready to take you to the fair.
I really hate to trouble you with this, but necessity forces my hand.
Dinner's at 7.
Please don't refuse me at this most critical juncture.
Oh, dude, I think someone's calling for me. Do you hear that? Harvey. I'm off. 7 sharp, or you'll miss the soup.
I've seen a lot in my day, but that is one cheap bitch. There's not a single way in. We could all take lessons. Well, time to saddle up the bride.
Uncle, on, people! You've all got jobs to do. Get in line. Come on. Like the hustle. Come on. Come. Could you go any slower? Okay. Mrs. Benson, let's start with you. Fine. Oh.
you're looking fit, fully armed. Ugh, excellent. Okay. I need you to dust, sweep, and scrub the house from top to bottom. But don't dust the furniture too hard. It has to last. And during dinner, I'm putting you in charge of the bottles. If anything gets spilled or broken, I'm taking it out of your wages. Brando, you are in charge of rinsing the glasses and pouring the wine. But only when someone is thirsty. You hear? I won't have you telling the guests to drink up when the thought hasn't crossed their minds. Wait until they ask you a third time. Then water it down thoroughly.
That's right. Pure wine is bad for the digestion.
And should I serve in this, ma'am?
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, excuse me, but I like the proper uniform.
What are you talking about? You look fine.
My shirt has a big grease stain on it, and the seat of my pants is filled with holes, so that, excuse me, but if I were to bow to our guest,
Don't bow then, you nitwit, and just cover the grease spot while you're serving. As for you, daughter! Oh, sorry. I want you to keep an eye on what people leave on their plates and make sure none of it gets thrown away. And in the meantime, I want you to get ready to meet my intended. She'll be coming by to take you to the fair. Are you listening to me?
Yes, Mother.
As for you, Nancy, I won't have you making any dirty looks at my fiancé.
Dirty looks, why would I do that?
We all know how children resent it when their mothers remarry and the esteem they hold their stepmothers in. So I'm telling you now, if you want to erase the memory of this morning's little escapade, you had better greet Mary Ann as warmly as possible.
I'd be lying, Mother, if I were to tell you that I'm happy to have a first stepmother. But I promise to follow your orders.
Well, just see that you do.
I said I wouldn't.
Well, just see that you do.
I said I would!
Good, 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 good. Can I go now? Sure. Go braid your wigs. Refuse your handkerchiefs while you're at it. Clear out!
Oh my God.
Get to work. Doc, I've saved you for last. Stay back! I need your advice. You're speaking to me as coachman or cook? Both. Who first? Cook. Hold on. What's up? Jock, circumstances forced me to give a dinner tonight.
Well, the wonders never cease, ma'am.
So can you whip us up a nice meal?
Of course I can. Give me enough money for it.
Jesus Christ! Money! This house is like a parrot cage! It's the only word they know!
His impertinence shocks me, ma'am. As if one needed a bunch of money to make a nice meal. I've never heard of such a thing. It's the clever cook who can make do with less.
Make do with less, you say.
Yes.
If you wish to demonstrate your fine dining on the cheap, you can be my guest. Pots are on the left, pans are on the right. She likes her omelets runny. Elise likes them dry, no herbs. Clarence likes his crust cut off. Never ever give her cucumber. Who made you king anyway?
That'll do, Jock. Just tell us what we need.
Why don't you ask His Royal Highness, he who can make do with less?
Shut up. I'm asking you.
How many for dinner?
10. So, cook for 6. I find when food's prepared for 6, there's always enough for 10. I don't believe in seconds.
Neither do I.
Let's see, 10.
6!
Soup to start, meat course, fish course, fowl course, a nice thick stew.
Soup and stew? Are you out to ruin me?
A roast lamb.
You roast me out of house and home!
And then for the side dishes.
Side dishes?
May I ask you, Jock, has the madam lured her guests here so that they at best bust their waistcoats and at worst die of overeating? I suggest you bone up on the laws of practical nutrition, or ask the doctors whether it isn't true that the worst thing for a man's health is too much food.
He's right, you know.
You and your kind, Jock, have to learn that the conscientious host sets a frugal table and follows the dictum of the learned ancient, who said man should eat to live and not live to eat.
Oh, brilliantly put, Val. I could kiss your genius. I've never heard a more beautiful statement. Man should eat and live and eat. That doesn't sound right. How did you say it?
Man should eat to live and not live to eat.
Amazing! Which learned ancient said it?
Dracula. The elder.
write that down for me. I'll have it carved over the table.
Consider it done. And, as for dinner, I'll take them.
Oh, serve filling things that nobody likes. Tongue, tripe, jellied eels. Oh, I know. How about fried chicken hearts?
Chicken hearts.
Cheap, crunchy,
Leave it all to me.
and we'll need the carriage clean too, Jock. Wait. That's an order for the coachman.
What's up?
I said clean the carriage and get the horses ready for a trip to the fair.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but your horses are in no condition to go anywhere.
What's wrong with them? Careful! If I hear a word that starts with money, it'll be your tongue on the table tonight.
They are ailing, ma'am. It's almost difficult to speak of them as horses. They're more like the idea or the suggestion of horses.
I don't see why. They don't do anything except lie around the stable all day.
They don't lie around, ma'am, because you don't give them any straw to lie on. And if they don't work, does that mean they don't eat? I wish they would work more if that meant they got to eat more. It breaks my heart to count their bread and see them looking so poorly. My tender feelings cause me to suffer right alongside them while I give from my mouth every day so they can have something to eat. It's an awful thing to be so hard on your fellow creatures.
Did it make as far as fair?
No, ma'am, and I'd have an awful conscience if I had to whip them to get them there. They barely have the strength to pull a carriage around, letting them themselves. Have a heart, ma'am.
I can get Barton from across the street to take them.
Very well. I'd rather they die on someone else's hand than mine.
Jock is quite the talkative.
And Val's quite the ass kiss today. Silence, Jock. Ma'am, we all know what's going on here. This one's constant meddling in the food and the wine and the bread and the salt and the candles and the wood. It's just his way of rooting his tongue so firmly and deeply as he can up your silence! It pains me when I hear what they say about you, ma'am. I fly into a rage. Next to the horses, I like this household for more than anybody. I don't know why, considering how you treat me.
Well, might you care to tell me, Jock, just what it is that's being said about me?
I might, but you'd only get angry.
I would not. What do you take me for?
I don't take you for anything, ma'am. I know you for a woman with a horrible temper.
Ah, nonsense, Jock. I'd like nothing better than to hear my reputation in the world outside.
Since you asked, ma'am, you are the laughing stock of this city, the punchline to dozens of jokes. People like nothing more than to swap stories about your stinginess. There's one in which you have special almanacs made up in which you double the fasting days so we're forced to eat less. And there's one where you pick fights with us or on our birthdays or when we quit so you don't have to give us anything. There's one about you suing your neighbor's cat for stealing a leftover pork chop. And there's one where you're stealing straw from your horses at night and your coachman comes out and beats you with a stick. I don't know how they found out about that one, man. My lips are still 100 miles away, know your day. Mother Harpy's never served without a side dish of penny pinchers, stingy, bitch, or miser.
And you are a liar, a shot, a fool, and a moron!
When I believed you when you said you wouldn't get angry, I guess I am a moron.
That'll teach you to spread slander!
You see where sincerity gets you, Jock.
Laugh for your own beatings when I call Baron Brown Nose, not mine. Be nice. Be nice yourself.
Please.
I've had enough of you and your high-handed ways.
Jock!
Don't make me take a stick and beat the arrogance out of you.
A stick, did you say?
Stick? Who said anything about a stick?
Listen up. If anybody's doing any beating around here, it's me.
Whatever you say.
You don't know who I am.
You're right, what do I know? Moron.
You're just a measly, lousy cook.
That's me, measly. Lousy.
And you were going to take a stick to me.
It's just a little joke, sir.
Well, I don't share your sense of humor. In fact, this is what I happen to think of it. Ah!
right. Sincerity is a poor profession. I'm giving it up. My master can beat me. It's in my job description. But that one, I'll get him back.
Yeah, did you ask her?
Yep, got this to prove it.
Did you tell her what you...
But Francine, I feel awful. I can't breathe. This place frightens me.
What's something you're afraid of?
Oh, listen here. Do you even have to ask a young girl about me her due?
Dune? I'll admit, Harvey isn't the kind of woman a girl wants to cuddle up with, but Dune, you should give her half a chance. I know. You've got your mind on that young buck who's come courting.
And so what if I have? His visits have been completely above board, so I'm not ashamed to admit that his feelings has taken root in my heart.
Yes, but who is he? Do you know the first thing about him?
No, but I'll tell you this, he's made for love.
So is anybody with a pulse.
And if the choice were mine to make Francine, oh, I'd take him over any other man. And yes, the very thought of losing him has everything to do with why the sight of this place and who owns it makes me feel like I'm suffocated.
How attractive, huh?
He's gorgeous, Francine, he's gorgeous.
Let me tell you something, Marianne. These young bucks cut fine figures. They smell nice, they have all their teeth, they look great on a horse. But most of them don't have a pot to piss in. In the end, it's better to get yourself an old woman with pots of money. And I know you're young and you feel this and you feel that, but I'm telling you to stop feeling and start thinking. Think about the future, think about security. And I'm not saying you won't have to put up with a lot of disgusting things along the way, but honey, nothing lasts forever. And once she's dead, you'll have a much easier time following your heart's desire.
There's just something not right about hoping or waiting for someone to die so you can be happy. And it's not like you can predict death.
Are you joking? You're only marrying her on the condition she leaves you a widow by spring. If she doesn't kick it in 3 months' time, we'll sue her for breach of contract. Here she comes.
Oh, look at that!
Pray! Pray, take no offense, my beauty, if I come to you wearing glasses. I know that your many treats are visible on their own, and I need glasses to see them, but it's only with glasses that one may observe the stars, is it not? And I maintain and guarantee that you are a star, and not just any star, but the brightest, most ravishing star in the entire galaxy of stars.
You didn't tell me she was deaf, Francine.
She's not. She's surprised.
Surprised? She's deaf and dumb.
Decent girls, you know, are always reluctant at first to show what's really in their hearts.
I knew that. Ah, here, my sweet little tickle pie is my daughter. Come to greet you.
Oh, please, forgive the delay I've taken paying my respects.
Oh, you anticipate my sentiments to the letter.
Oh, she's a sturdy girl, my Elise. Comes in handy with the chores.
She's revolting.
What did she say?
She admires you terribly.
Oh, you do me too much honor, my little pepper pot.
She's an animal.
Just the sight of you makes me feel young. I mean, old.
I'll kill myself, that's what I'll do.
Here's my son. Pray forgive his appearance.
Francine, that's it right there, that's my sugar plum.
Really?
I can tell by your face that you're pleased to see my children are all grown up. That makes me a sexy geranium. But don't worry, I'm getting rid of them. They'll be gone by next week.
My lady, in all honesty, this is an unexpected adventure. When my mother revealed her plans to me, so a short time ago, it came as a great surprise.
Oh, sir, I myself was completely unprepared for such a shocking change of fortune.
It is true that my mother could not have made a more heavenly choice, and that my joy in meeting you cannot be compassed. Even so, I cannot say that I take any pleasure in the prospect of your becoming my stepmother. How could I congratulate you on such a horrifying occasion? Such frankness is brutal, but I feel certain that you are the kind of person who will take it at face value to hear that I view your pending marriage with no small amount of devotion. You cannot be ignorant, knowing who I am, of how this calamity destroys my own hopes. Allow me as well to reveal, with my mother's permission, that if the decision were mine, this union would never take place.
How is that a compliment?
Sir, if I may be permitted to say, but I am in complete and utter agreement with every point you are making. And if the thought of me becoming your stepmother revolts you, well, the thought of you becoming my stepson is doubly disgusting. That it is I who wishes to cause you any unhappiness, and displeasing you is the last thing I want. So please, let me say this. If my hand had been forced, I would never consent to a marriage hurtful to you in any way.
That's the spirit. Give as good as you get. I, however, must beg your pardon for my son's impudence. Fancy pants does know what he's saying half the time.
Oh, his words don't offend me the slightest, ma'am. On the contrary, what a great thing for him to air out his feelings. I was hoping, in fact, for such a confession, and if he had spoken any way, I would respect him far less.
It's very generous of you to excuse his inexperience. His tune will change in time.
No, Mother, on the subject, I swear, I shall remain incapable of change, and I wish for my lady to know it.
He's a complete dunce. Always has been.
Do you want me to betray my heart?
Can we talk about something else now?
Very well, Mother, if you insist. Permit me, my lady, to stand now in my mother's shoes and say that I have never seen anything on this earth as enchanting as you. No earthly happiness could compare to the honor of pleasing you, and the title of your spouse is a glorious destiny that I much rather to the praise of any prince, past or present. Yes, my lady, the joy of possessing you is the grandest fortune imaginable, and one in which I place all hope and ambition. There's no such thing I could do to obtain such a precious conquest. The most powerful obstacles are...
Okay. Enough of that.
I take court on your behalf, ma'am.
I've got a tongue in my head, don't I? I don't need an interpreter.
Isn't it time we were going to the fair? We'll have plenty of time to get acquainted when we get back.
Okay. Have someone tie the horses to the carriage. Pardon me, my little pepper pot, for not having thought of offering you a little snack before you set off.
That's taken care of, Mother. I've already sent out for Chinese oranges, sweet lemons, and candy ginger.
On my credit? Thou!
No! He speaks without reason.
What's the matter, Mother? Won't that be enough? I'm sure my lady will excuse any lapse of civility.
You didn't have to go through all that trouble.
She never eats.
Tell me, my lady, have you ever seen a prettier diamond than the one my mother is wearing?
Oh, it has a lovely sparkle.
Come, my lady, come closer.
Oh, it's exceedingly handsome and full of fire.
This gift from my mother was fashioned for your beautiful hands.
Gift?
My mother wants you to keep it and wear it out of love for her.
Are you out of your mind?
She wants me to make her accept it.
I don't want to.
Are you joking? She wouldn't think of taking it back now.
I would so!
I don't wish to.
Returning it would offend her.
It would not!
Absolutely not.
I'll disown you.
You see her? This scandalizes her.
I'll cut you. My mother, I can't make her keep it. She's got on her street. You're a dead man.
You see, my lady, how you come into when I have a son.
Get down from here.
You make her sick, my lady. Refuse no further.
Keep the ring, sugar, remember. Dead by spring.
Fine. Rather than cause any further trouble, I'll accept it for now.
Ma'am, there's a man outside who wants to talk to you.
Tell him I'm busy and to come back another time.
He has some money for you.
I'll be right there. I gotta shoot you.
Are you all right, Mother? Are you dead?
There's
me, Mayor. I thought I should run and tell you the news.
And what news is that, assassin?
When we brought the carriage around to the horses, they took one good look at it and ma'am, they dropped dead.
Keep one for the kitchen and sell the rest to the butchers.
But how do we get to the fair?
I'll borrow a coach and four. Plenty of people owe me.
In the meantime, Mother, allow me to show my lady through the garden. I'll have the ginger and oranges sit out there.
Val, I want you to keep an eye out for that fruit. When it gets here, send it straight back to the market.
Very good, ma'am.
Candied ginger. Is he out to ruin me?
I think we're safe here for the time being.
But your sister!
My brother has revealed to me his feelings as well as some of their hardships. I'll help in any way I can.
Oh, thank you for your kindness. Please call me Marianne.
You'll call me Elise.
Excuse me, kids, but you've been fools not to warn me of your little adventure. I can work both sides of every street.
Who knew it would come to this? This fortune dogs my heels. What have you decided to do, Marianne?
Do? I am in no place to do anything, Clarence. I'm independent. I can hope, I can dream, but I can't do just what?
And I am to rely on that? Hopes and dreams?
Oh, put yourself on my place. I thought you would be smart enough not to demand I act obscenely or shamelessly.
At times like this, decency and honor are the enemies of love.
Men, they say the darndest things.
I know, they're impossible.
So what would you have me do, Clarence? Even if I were to put aside all the restraints placed upon my sex, I still have to think about my mama. She raised me to her standard of grace, and I'm not about to hurt her feelings by turning my back on her training.
Might you help us, Francine?
Might I help you? Might I help you? Two penniless kids with half a brain between you. What do I look like to you? Do not answer that. On the other hand, I do know what it's like to be in love, if I squint. My heart's not like love. On the other hand, I'd like to... No, on the other hand, I'd like to drain your mother like a leech. So I'm in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Francine.
So, what do we do?
Well, there must be some way to undo your contract with my mother. It won't be easy. I write them tight. She'll have to go back on her end of the deal. Your mother's not unreasonable. If Clarence can work her over first, we might be able to get her to give to the son what she promised the mother. The problem is, your mother is your mother.
Yeah.
You should never agree to let you have a woman who spurned her. She'll have to go back on her end. Your behavior, your mannerisms, your character will have to disgust her somehow. Can you do this? That got me out of many a scrape back in my day.
Can you show me how to do that?
Elise! Shut up!
Yeah? Get over here, try. Come on.
Do not.
No, I guess I'll have to try.
Is that the least we could do? Thank you. If you ever want to leave your mother, here's my card. As for you, honey, elegant is as elegant does. Oh my God, I know I'm a genius. I have an idea. What if we found a woman of a certain age with certain talents who could pretend to be a woman of quality? Someone with more money than she knows what to do with. Harvey's terrible reputation has tickled her fancy, laid her out on the rack of love. If you know what I'm saying.
I think I do.
So this girl is so hot to get hitched, she'll give her a house in the town and 100,000 pounds just for signing the contract. I'm not saying she doesn't love you, Marianne. I'm saying she loves money a whole lot more. If we throw her this bait, she'll have gone back on her end before she can realize the one's a fake.
That's a great idea.
All I have to do is find a sister to play her. Wonder if they're still running that carnival at the Hotel de Ville. You two go work on Mama. I'm going to find Harvey a girlfriend.
Marianne, you must do everything in your power to convince her. Pluck every string of maternal sympathy. Remind her how well you care.
I can handle my own Mama, Clarence. It's always this way.
Yeah.
You should start thinking about how you're going to convince my mom.
Forgive me, my darling, I will.
What's this? Clarence kissing his detested stepmother's hand? And she's not withdrawing it?
Mom!
The carriage is ready.
Oh, let's go.
Not you, Clarence!
Since you're not going, Mother, I am more than happy to take them.
Watch this. They can go by themselves. I need you here.
What do you want, Mother?
Without going into the hated stepmother routine again, tell me, son, what do you make of Marianne?
What do you mean?
Her character, her figure, her beauty, her wit.
Oh, that.
Oh, what?
Well, to speak with utter frankness, Mother, she's not what I was set to expect. She's a mediocre beauty, and she has a graceless figure, and she's a vulgar coquette. As for her intelligence, she's not as much slow-witted as she's absent-witted. I say all this not to discourage you, Mother, because as far as stepmothers go, you know the old saying, in the dark all cats are gray.
That's not what you said before.
Oh, but back then I was merely being kind in an attempt to please you, which, like, all my attempts to please you were completely misunderstood.
So, what you're saying, son, is that you don't have a hankering for her?
What a grotesque term! I would never have a hankering for anybody, most especially her.
Oh, that's too bad. I dashed my hopes. Just now, seeing the two of you together, I started to think about how old I really am. I thought of how tongues would wag to see an old coot like me marry such a pretty young thing. The jokes, the innuendo, the inevitable sign of the horns. So I thought, there's no fool like an old fool, Harvey. Put this second marriage out of your head. But since I already signed a contract, I thought maybe I should let you have Marianne.
Me have her, and her have you.
In marriage? But now she's a vulgar coquette. I'll never understand you, son.
No, Mother, she's not completely to my taste, that's true, but to please you, I suppose I could slip to marry her if you like.
No, son, I'm not as horrible as you think. I'd never forced you to hanker against your will.
For the love of you, Mother, I would.
No. They say marriages of unequal hankerings are rarely happy.
Yet they also say that after marriage, sometimes love comes hard upon. The fruits of love happen after marriage.
Not for a real man, I'm afraid. Real men can't risk the dangers of an unhappy wife. Unhappy wives lead to embarrassment and dishonor, and they spend money like water. I wouldn't want that to happen to my only son. If only you'd had an ounce of hanker for Marianne, I'd have let you marry her instead. But since that's not the case, I have no choice but to go back to my original plan.
You know what, Mother, that's enough! I can't do this anymore! No more lies or deception! The truth is, I fell in love with Marianne from the first moment I saw her! And I was working to ask you to allow me to marry her when you came in and told me your own plan!
So, you visited her?
Yes!
How many times?
As often as I can fit it in.
Fit what in?
That's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself.
So, you were well received?
Very well received. She didn't know who I was. But I didn't look surprised when she came in and saw the two of us.
And have you declared your passion to her?
Yes, I have. I even spoke about it to her mother.
And the mother kept a straight face when she saw you?
Yes, she did.
And the daughter, Does she happen to share your passion?
Well, if I'm to believe appearances, I could be persuaded to think that her feelings toward me are quite tender.
Well, this is quite a situation then, isn't it? It's almost theatrical. Here's what we're going to do. It's a simple solution. You are going to fall out of love, toot sweet, and before the week is up, you're going to marry the nice, big, bouncing widow I've picked out for you.
Well, since it's come to this, Mother, let me declare that I will never, do you hear me? Never give up my Marianne. There are no lengths to which I won't go to in order to win her away from you. You may have her mother's consent, but I have other forces on my side.
You dare compete with me?
Compete and win, you old hack!
I'm not your mother, and don't you owe me respect?
Children don't offer mothers anything at times like this.
You're not so big that I can't still take a belt to you.
That's for useless. It's over, Mother.
I'll make you renounce her.
You're pathetic.
Go get my belt! Ma'am, what's going on? This is right here.
Marianne is buying your whole heart down. Seriously, please, no. I'll take you over, please. Let me out. Back it up.
Just 5 minutes, Daddy. No, Jock. Actually, I think I'd like to have you judge the present situation.
Oh, what's your code?
I said judge, you idiot.
Very well. Give us some room, young man.
I love a young girl, Your Honor, and I wish to marry her. Not only does that basket of lace over there have the insolence to love her too, he won't, despite my order, yield his claim.
He's very wrong.
A mother and a son in love with the self-same girl. It shocks me. By right and by tradition, he must abstain from infringing upon my territory, must he not?
He must. Let me speak to him. You stay here.
If you've been chosen by my mother to arbitrate, Jack, you can at least pretend to listen partially to my side of the argument.
I'd be honored to, young man. Proceed.
I am in love with a young woman who has tenderly received the offerings of my heart, and my mother has taken it into her head to trouble our love with her own wretched designs.
She's very wrong.
Isn't she ashamed at her age to be thinking of marriage? Does she think amorousness becomes her? Shouldn't she leave love to the young?
She's a fool. Let me speak to him. Your son isn't as far gone as you think he is. I've returned him to reason. He is fully cognizant of the respect he owes his mother. He was just caught up in the heat of the moment, that's all. He is willing to submit to all your conditions, provided you treat him better in the future and provide with a wife he can be happy with.
Tell him, Your Honor, that I assent. That he may come to me for aid and comfort, and I will even allow him to pick any wife he chooses, except for Marianne.
Your mother isn't as insane as you made her out to be. She's explained to me how and why she's upset, and frankly, Clarence, she's more put out by the way you handled the matter than the matter itself. In fact, she's rather disposed to give you your heart's desire, provided you treat her how a son should treat a mother, with kindness, respect, deference, submission, and etc.
Let me swear to you, Jock, that in giving me Marianne she shall find me most submissive, and that my sense of filial duty shall henceforth never falter.
All done, he consents. Is that possible?
You hear that? She's happy with your promises.
Oh, may the heavens be free.
Folks, from small misunderstandings are great, the court's concluded.
I owe you my life, John. I am astounded at your gift for diplomacy, John. You deserve something for your pains. I'll never forget this.
Thank you for letting me be a part of this.
I beg your pardon, Mother, for the excess of my temper.
Oh, forget it, son. You got your temper from me.
How gracious of you to forgive my faults so quickly.
If there's one thing I've learned in life, son, it does no good to dwell on the past.
I promise you, Mother, that I will take the memory of your bounty all the way to the tomb.
As for me, I promise in the future to give you everything you ask for.
Mother, did you hear that? Hear what? You said give without starting!
I did.
So I did. Give! Give!
But Mother, now that you're giving me Mary Ann, who could ask for anything more?
What?
I said, now that you're giving me Mary Ann, who could ask for anything more?
Who said anything about giving you Mary Ann?
You did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, it was you who promised to give her up.
Me? You. You treat me, Mother.
So, you mean you didn't say you renounce her?
On the contrary, I love her more than ever.
You little bastard!
I should have been born an orphan.
Mary Ann is mine, you ingrate!
Do what you can to please her, you sovereign old goats.
I absolutely forbid you to see her!
I tell you, send alone.
I'll abandon you!
Abandon away.
I hereby renounce you as my son! Boo-hoo! I disinherit you!
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
I curse you from here to Hades!
You're the one who smells of sulfur.
I'm getting my belt!
Oh, sir, we're gonna need to. Come on, now. We have to go.
What's going on?
Follow me. And your luck is come to call.
What are you talking about? Look at this!
What is it?
Spying her all day.
Her?
It was just cash box. I typed it.
How did you manage that?
There's no time for that now.
Stop! Stop this! Miscreant! Marauder! Assassin! I call upon the heavens for justice! My throat has been slit! Someone has stolen all my money! Where is she gone? Where is she hiding? Will I ever see her again? Should I run? Should I stay? Stop! Thief! Oh, it's me. I'm losing my mind. Oh, where am I? What am I? Who am I? What's going on? I'm nothing without her. Why have you forsaken me? Did you find someone you like better? Do you wink and wiggle for him? Clank for him? Jingle in his pockets? Run through his fingers? Tempt him with your sheen? Oh, inconstant fortune, you fickle jade! Mistress of 1,000 hands! No one can ever love you like I do! I can't live without you! I'm dying! I'm dead! I'm gone! I am but meal for worms! An unredeemed carcass gone to dust! Will no one give her back? I know it was one of you. I've been watching you, spying on me all day. What's that? Under your chair? One of you in the back row? You? One of you two? You look familiar. Have you been skulking around my property? Trying to steal my fortune, my cash box? I've been looking at you too. You look awful suspicious. Weird hat. Never seen that before. Okay, well, if no one's gonna give her back willingly, well, you still have to give her back willingly. I'm gonna count to 5, close my eyes. If it's not right there, when I'm done counting, I'm gonna kill you all! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! Ushers! Go to the booth! Go!
Will you let me do my job? This isn't my first investigation. If I had a penny for every thief I'd sent to the gallows, I'd be a rich woman today.
Everybody wants this case. So if you can't find my money, I'll take my business elsewhere.
First things first, as you were saying in this cash box were
10,000 pounds in gold.
10,000 pounds?
10,000 pounds!
That's a considerable sum.
There isn't punishment to fit this crime. If it goes unpunished, then, well, I fear for the fate of this nation.
Is there anyone you suspect of the theft?
Everybody! I want you to take everyone from the city and the surrounding areas prisoner.
Listen to an expert. It's best not to frighten anyone. Better to tread lightly, quietly collecting evidence, and then you strike.
I'll be right back to split his throat, cut off his ears, barbecue his face, throw him in boiling water, and hang from the ceiling.
Who, the thief?
No, dinner. We caught raccoon.
The officer here wants to talk to you.
Don't be alarmed. I'm not here to cause you any trouble.
Man has come to dine?
And above all, you mustn't attempt to hide anything from us.
Oh, of course. But if dinner isn't as good as I might have wished, you can thank our steward Val, who has singed my wings with the scissors of economy.
This isn't about dinner, you moron. What? I want you to tell us what you know about the money that was stolen from me.
Someone stole your money?
Yes, blockhead. So if you don't give it back right now, I'll see you hang.
Don't abuse the man. You can tell from his face he's honest, and I'm sure he'll tell us all we need to know without our having to torture him in a prison cell. Yes, my friend, if you know something and confess it, no harm will come to you, and your master will reward you for your honesty. Be that as it may, someone has stolen your master's money, and it hardly seems likely that you wouldn't have heard anything about it.
If this isn't just the way to avenge myself like a palace favorite.
No mumbling.
Leave him be. He's thinking out loud.
Since you force it out of me, I think it was your steward who did it.
Val?
Yes, Val.
Val, who appears so faithful?
Yes, I think he stole your money.
And on what evidence?
Evidence.
Is there an echo in here?
The evidence is that I think he did it.
Could you substantiate your claim, please?
Did you see him prowling around my hiding place?
Of course I did. Where'd you hide it?
In the garden.
I saw him prowling around the garden. Where'd you hide it in?
A cash box. I saw him with the cash box. And what did this cash box look like? I want to make sure that it was mine.
What did it look like?
Yes.
It was a big, strong cash box.
The one that was stolen was on a small size.
It was small if you want to think of it that way. I thought it was big because of what it contained.
What color was it?
What color was it?
Yes.
It was a color. It was a colored color, a certain color of a definite hue. Would you like to help me out, ma'am? Huh? Wasn't it red?
It was gray.
Grayish red, that's what I meant. Very admirable.
That's my cash box. You heard him, Commissioner. Take down his statement. Oh, has mankind sunk so low? Will I live to trust again? Oh. Here's the thief himself.
Now, don't go telling him that I told you, ma'am.
Approach, you venomous snake! Approach and confess the blackest act! The vilest outrage ever perpetrated!
What?
How is it, traitor, that you do not blush for shame at your crime?
What crime are you talking about?
And still he placed the counterfeit! You know full well what crime I'm talking about, yet you insist on this ridiculous charade! You have been unmasked. I have learned all I need to know of your treachery. I give you a job, and this is how you repay my bounty?
Since all has been discovered, I shall not attempt to deny my guilt.
You mean I guessed it? I'm a prophet.
It was always my intention to confess, yet I felt I should wait for the most favorable opportunity. No time like the present, however, so I beg you to control your temper and listen to my reasons.
What reasons could you possibly give me, you wicked thief?
Ma'am, these names are beneath you. I've committed an offense against you, true, but my fault is pardonable.
Pardonable? Arson and assassinations are pardonable.
Your wrath is unbecoming. I think you'll find that my crime wasn't as bad as you think.
Not as bad as I think. We're talking about my life's blood, you filthy cur!
Your blood, ma'am, hasn't fallen into disreputable hands. I am of noble birth. Nothing untoward has occurred to stain your honor.
What does honor have to do with it? Just tell me what led you to this crime!
Alas, must you ask that of me?
I guess I mustn't I?
The God who forgives all that is done in his name.
Jesus Christ!
No. Love.
Love?
Yes.
love for my gold, you mean?
No, it wasn't your riches that tempted or dazzled me. In fact, I vow to make no claims upon your fortune, provided that you leave me with what I already possess.
I'll leave you swinging from a noose in this town square, wanting to keep what he steals. Can you believe his insolence?
You consider it theft.
A treasure like that? Of course I do.
A treasure, true, the most precious you own. But rather than think of it as your loss, think of it as my gain. Nothing but death shall ever part us.
I can arrange it.
Do with me as you will, ma'am. I am more than ready to suffer violence for my beliefs. But I think you should know that if a crime has been committed, I must stand alone among the accused. And all that has transpired, your daughter shares no portion of the guilt.
I should think not. She hasn't the brains for it. Just tell me where my treasure's gone to.
It hasn't gone anywhere. It's still in the house.
Oh, my blessed cash box! Still in the house, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
No tampering with it?
Tamper. Oh, ma'am, you wrong us both. My flame burns pure.
He burns for my cash box?
I would rather die than harbor a single offending thought for one so kind and gentle.
My cash box is kind of gentle.
The only outlet for my desires have been to ravish her with my eyes. Nothing criminal could ever degrade the passion that her own eyes have kindled in me.
Ew. My cash box has eyes?
Mrs. Benson knows the truth.
Mrs. Benson?
Yes, she witnessed their vows and helped persuade your daughter to pledge her faith and receive mine in turn.
Fear of the noose has set him raving. How is my daughter mixed up in all this?
Well, it was only this morning that Elise took the brave step of signing a mutual promise of marriage.
My daughter signs herself away? To you?
Yes, as I have signed myself to her.
Another catastrophe! You're writing this all down.
Oh, you bet.
It's more than a catastrophe. It's a disgrace. Officer, do your office. Draw up a suit for me naming him thief and seducer. That's thief and seducer.
I don't know it's such slander, and when you discover who I am.
Ah! Daughter! This is how you repay me for the food in your belly, the clothes on your back, and the roof over your head? Falling in love with this loser! Pledging yourself to him without my consent! Your audacity will take you both very far! Get thee to a nunnery! And you, to the gallows!
Oh my God. Can't you for once pretend to be human and not stretch your maternal might to its limit? Check your temper and don't let it control your every thought and deed. Why not take a moment to consider the situation in front of you and take a closer look at the man you feel has offended you? You wrong him terribly. You might find my devotion to him less surprising than you learned, but without him, I would have been permanently lost. This is the man who saved me from drowning. I owe him and you as well my life, my...
What do I care? Better for me you drowned than heap disgrace upon your family.
I beg you, mother to daughter, to let me...
Oh, forget it! Let justice have her way with him. Do they still roast people at the stake?
Oh, yes.
That'll teach him to hit me.
If you don't mind my saying so, you seem quite unhinged.
Oh, Senator Elmo! A plague of locusts has descended upon my house. All that I hold most dear, my honor, my fortune, is in tatters. Oh, because this viper weaseled his way into my house, disguised as a servant, to steal my money and seduce my daughter.
Why do you keep babbling about your money?
They pledge themselves to each other, an affront which I'm afraid touches you as well, Senator Elmo. I advise you file suit and let the wheels of justice grind him to dust.
It's not my way to marry someone by force or to impose my heart onto one that is already given, but as far as your interests are involved, I'll treat them as my own.
Here, sir, is an honest commissioner who will do her duties to the letter. Charge him, ma'am, as the law dictates, but make sure the charges are capital.
I still don't see what crime you can make of my loving your daughter, or how our engagement is worthy of condemnation, especially after I reveal my noble heritage.
Oh, don't try that with me. This world is crawling with imposters who dress themselves up in the most ridiculous of titles. The Regent of the Red Lion, the Duke of Dubuque, the Countess of Cams, places that aren't on any map.
My blood's too noble to assume a title that doesn't belong to me. All of Naples could bear witness to my birth.
Take care, sir. You risk more than you know in speaking to a man who knows all of Naples and could correct any slips in the tale you tell.
I defy your insinuations, sir. If all of Naples is known to you, then you must know Don Thomas de Albuquerque.
I know them well. Few, in fact, know them as well as I do.
Don Thomas, Don Morton, Don Diego. What about my money?
Let him speak. I'd like to follow his meaning.
My meaning is that Don Thomas de Albuquerque is the man who gave me life.
I suggest you find yourself a better story. You won't save yourself with this trumpery.
I suggest you address me with more respect. It's no trumpery.
Yet you dare to claim that you are the son of Don Thomas de Albuquerque.
It's a truth I'm willing to defend against all corners.
I marvel at your effrontery. May it not confound you to learn that 16 years ago, the man you speak of died on the seas with his wife and children. His was one of several noble families that were forced into exile.
May it not confound you to learn that his son, 7 years of age, along with the servant, was rescued from that shipwreck by a Spanish galleon. And then this rescued son is he who stands before you. Jesus Christ. The captain of the galleon took pity on me and raised me as his own. As soon as I was able to bear arms, I became a soldier of fortune. It was only a short time ago I learned that my father hadn't perished. Coming here to begin a search for him, an even greater adventure befell me. The heavens saw fit to reveal Elise in all her glory. Her charm seized my heart and soul in an instant. I rescued her from the sea as I myself had once been rescued. Considering the immoderate nature of my passion and the stringent nature of her mother, I felt compelled to ingratiate myself into the household and send somebody else to look for my parents.
That's some story.
Indeed. But what proof have you, besides words that your fantasy isn't built but from a sliver of truth?
The Spanish captain, a ruby signet ring that belonged to my father, and I get bracelet that my mother placed on my wrist, and old Petro, the serpent who also survived the shipwreck.
If I may be permitted to say so, the man is telling the truth.
And why is that?
Because all signs points to the irrefutable fact that you're my brother.
My sister?
Yes.
You?
From the moment you opened your mouth, I felt a kinship. Our mama brought me up on the story of our family misfortunes, and well, we didn't perish in shipwreck either. Fate kept us alive so we might not lose our liberty. And pirates pulled us from the wreckage. And after 10 long years of slavery, a happy struggle of luck set us free. We made our way back to Naples, where we found out all our possession had been sold. There was no news of father or you. And then we went to Georgia, where Mama claimed and fought for her inheritance, and fleeing for that barbaric branch of the family, used up all her strength. Here we are. Oh, how the sight of you, brother, will bring her back to life.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, merciful heavens! How limitless is your power! Only you can work such miracles. Embracing my children, come, mix your tears with mine.
You're our father.
To whom our mama shed many tears?
Yes, my daughter. Yes, my son. I am Don Thomas de Albuquerque, whom fate pulled from that shipwreck with all his money, and whom, having believed his family dead for 16 years, has wandered far and wide in an attempt to forget the past. I arranged to have everything sold, and I settled here and took the name of Elmo hoping that time and distance would ease the pain heaped upon my poor self. I have only just begun to seek, by marrying a sweet and tender girl, the consolation of a new family.
Did anybody die in the shipwreck?
Oh, that's your son, huh?
Indeed,
Then I call you to account for the 10,000 pounds he stole from me.
he stole from you.
He did.
Who told you that?
Chuck.
You told her that.
Not a word, you know how she gets. The commissioner took it all down.
Yes, I did.
You thought me capable of such baseness.
Capable, not capable. I want my money back.
Oh, yeah.
You can cease your accusations, Mother. I have come to tell you that if you give me Mary Ann, your money will be returned to you.
With interest?
No.
I tried.
Where is it? That's none of your business. I can vouch for its return, but we're not going to find you. Mary Ann, for the cash box.
Is anything missing?
She's all there. 10,000 pounds in gleaming gold. Now all you have to do is decide whether you will add your consent to this marriage along with that of her mother.
And I have to tell you, my mom's consent is no longer sufficient. My brother and my father have been miraculously returned to me, so I expect you to obtain my father's blessing as well.
Senator Elmo?
It's my dad, yes.
Children, the heavens didn't see fit to restore you to me so that I could oppose your wishes. Madam Harvey, you must understand that the daughter is more likely to choose the son over the father. If I can bear it, so can you.
Thank you, sir. I hope one day to repay your kindness to me.
Treat vow to your kindness, and you will. Come, Harvey, give your consent to this double wedding.
First, I need advice from my cash box.
You shall have it safe and sound.
Well, I have no money to give my children for these marriages.
I have more than enough, so you needn't worry about it.
So, you'll pay for both weddings?
So be it. Are you satisfied?
Can you throw in a new suit of wedding clothes for me?
All right, is that all?
My horse is dying.
Come, let us celebrate the joy that they have brought us.
Hold on, everyone. Just a moment. Who's going to pay for my services?
Your services are no longer required.
But I've been writing for hours.
Here, you can hang him for payment. I'm beaten for telling the truth and hanged for lying. The world's a terrible place.
Madam Harvey, I believe you should forgive Jacques for his deception.
Yeah. So, you'll pay the commissioner?
I will. Come, let us celebrate the joys of this day with your mother.
Clarence!
Yes, Mother.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Every time, Mom.